evening everyone. Welcome to DPP4. So this is about the criterion D. Let us start this. The different communities around the world do not have equal access to clean water, and there is a change for the fair development. So there are problems related to water. The water tower is an elevated structure found in many economically developed countries. It holds a water tank high above the ground. This allows the water to be distributed to local areas through a network of pipes. Okay. The image below shows a water tower in Finland with a capacity of 12,600 cube and a height of 52 meters. Okay. So somewhere data given to us here is that this volume of this water is 12,600 meters cube, and height of this seems to be 52 meters. Okay. Then what else has been given? You would have seen such kinds of water tanks nearby to your house locality, in your apartments, and so on. And only from there we do get water. In fact, today's task is something like we keep all this water in a sump and then we upload the water to syntax tanks. From there we get it across. And in the earlier days we used to have something like this. But of course now also if you go to some places like universities, colleges, and so on, you might be able to see this. Okay, now calculate the work done in filling this water tower with water from ground level. You need to assume the value of G to be so much and density of water to be 1000 kg per meter cube. Give your answer in standard form. Two significant things. 3 marks. Okay, so what you should do something like this. You need to get the work done. So, this is the water tank and the height. This height 52 meters and 12,600. 52 meters and 12,600. So 12,600 meter cube of water is being filled in. What is this now? First thing is you should identify that this is what. Okay. And then this is 52. So you have an object which is in the ground and you pull it and place it on to a certain height. How much work you need to do? You have an object of mass m. Then you keep it to a certain height h. Then the work done in taking an object from here and putting over there is nothing but mg into h, the potential energy of the object. That's what you are going to do. You are going to write this as equal to mg into h. But where is m here? G is known, h is known, G 9.8, h is equal to 52. You need to get the value of m. How do I get the value of m? You get it like this. M is equal to volume multiplied with density. Because you know density is given. The moment density is given in the question, which means that volume should have been given to calculate the mass. Both are given. So multiply these two, which will be 12,600 multiplied by 1000, which will give me 126 into 10 to the power of here 2 and here it is 3, 10 to the power of 5 kgs. This is the mass of the water that has to be kept on the top. Okay. I will write this as 126 multiplied by 745 multiplied by 9.81 multiplied by 52. Okay. Now let us calculate this value and find out the final. I have 126 multiplied by 9.81 multiplied by 52. I get the answer as 64,275.12. 64,275.12, and I should not leave this one 10 power. Okay, because I'm not using the normal this one CDC and this will be the normal calculator in your computer. So I get this. Now finally I got the answer, but I need to keep this in two significant things. What will I do? I will now 64,275 is nearly 64,000 multiplied by 10 power. Right? I cannot put 64,200 here because in that case it will be two significant, three significant. So I want only for two. I write like this, which is now 64 into 10 to the power of 3 and 10 power of 5, 10 to the power of 8. Now what is the unit? Unit is W. What is 10 is energy, right? This should be your answer. Okay. So either you can write like this, or you can also write this as 6.4 into 10 to the power of 9 joules, which is a correct equation. Okay. So you can mention this as 6.4 gigajoules. Okay. Mega is for 10 power 6, giga is for 10 power 9. You can mention it like this. Okay. Now let me move on to the next question. Now, how do I get this 3 marks? That's the question we need to have. The first mark goes in exactly understanding the parameters and substituting these values. The second mark goes in getting the correct answer by multiplying all of them. Okay, and then finally putting them to 2 significant figures to give you 1 more mark. Now, what are the misconceptions here? Misconception here is that while you do the multiplication, you might forget to use this 10 power 5. That's one of them. Secondly, some of you might think density of water is 1. What is that 1 here? 1 gram per centimeter cube. Here, we have 1 kg per meter. Okay, so you should not mix up with the CGS with this one. Some of you might directly consider this one as the mass of water, which is once again incorrect. Okay, so usually any type of student. Okay, so if you consider either from IB or MYP, okay, I have seen even these kinds of tests being performed even the MSc level also, master degree also, wherein they are in a very hurry. Okay. See, this is a very simple question, straightforward question, but only thing is, you should not hurry, you should keep on writing the parameters of parameters. Okay. So because you have a calculator, that doesn't mean that, okay, you can just take everything in a calculator and do it. MYP students lose marks, MYP and DP students, both of them lose marks. These simple questions only because marks. Okay. You think calculator is everything, it makes your work easy, but don't do it. See to it that you write it and then get the values. That's very, very important. Next. Many questions in many countries, water must be collected from sources that are sometimes located far away from the home. It is estimated that around a quarter of the global population have to collect the water. Okay, we have seen this. Many people are struggling, okay, to get water. Of course, they are all very privileged to say that water comes to our home. But I have seen in villages where people have to go far off distances to collect water. In a lot of these countries, women and girls bear the responsibility of water collection, spending a worldwide total of around 200 million hours. Oh my God, it's too much. Okay, spend a lot of time because you have to wait for the water when the water will come, and then you have to collect the water, you have to walk a long distance and then get home. Okay, gravity of the situation is too high. Suggest why the need to collect water is a barrier to development for the people that live in these regions. What is the reason? First thing is that now when water is available at a given point, as you see, this woman is now walking far away. You can see behind them there is a mountain over here, and so on. So very clearly picturized that you are not collecting this water in the morning, early mornings at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, or maybe you are collecting it 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and so on. What can happen? So because of this, if you spend more amount of time in collecting the water from a far off place during daytime, let us say you are getting the water at 10 a.m. and then you are collecting this water and coming or traveling or walking all the way along, let us say half a kilometer to your home, getting this will take, let us say for example, every day 2 hours. Then what can happen? So you will become free only at 12 a.m. Maybe 11 a.m. or 12:30 a.m. and so on. Okay. So as a result of this, 0, 0, maybe it's 12 hours. Okay. So as a result of it, when does your school and college start? Your schools and colleges start in the morning 9. Now when you go to your school and college, what's happening here? You are not be able to draw water. So water is a very essential thing, and so your development is being restricted. Right? See, somewhere while they give you the data itself, you should be able to collect the information. That's what you need to do. So therefore, children, if they are collecting water from far off places, then definitely this is what will happen. You cannot just collect one pitcher of water and then put in your home, right? You need to collect something like around 1 barrel of water for the whole day to go on, right? So therefore, there's one. Let us say there are some women in the family, aged around 25, 30, so on, and they are doing this process. Children are going to home, the schools and colleges. Now what will happen? Now, when these women are doing the same work, see, their productivity would have been different. They would have been, if they did not do this work, they would have been employed in some schools, colleges, as teachers, or maybe companies. They would have been doing some work. Unfortunately, when water is the priority for them, they will not be able to go to a job. They'll say, I will become just a housewife, and I will, sorry, I will not say just a housewife. It says, okay, I will just do household chores. Okay, and I'm happy. Okay, because it's not about happiness, it's about, okay, I don't have time to do anything. So, as a result of it, okay, so the development is once again being, okay, so thus, you see, so the need to collect water is the barrier for development. It's all about story, but what do you write? How many marks? First question you should ask. So 1 mark. Oh, then what you can say? It hinders the schooling of young children. Then what else it obstructs, or what you can write? You can say it obstructs. So you can also say it obstructs or hinders growth of individuals. Moment. Right? You can mention. Let us move on to the next topic. The UN SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, for clean water and sanitation calls for the fair and universal access to safe and affordable drinking water by 2030. So UN has 19 goals, and one of these goals is providing safe water and affordable drinking water. However, this is a significant global challenge as shown in the video below. I don't have the video here, I only have the script. The script very clearly in the exam, the video will be shown, and whatever is being told there, it is being given as a script. Okay, I downloaded from somewhere else. I do not have an access to the MYP papers. Okay, in some site it has been available, so I just take that one and put that, or maybe, okay, if there is a video which only shows you the questions, there are many YouTube videos, okay, which only shows the questions. It doesn't tell you how to answer it. Okay, and then maybe they were not write it out. And what I do is I take those questions, put it in a snip, maybe in a Word document, convert it into PDF, and that's what I do. It's estimated that 1 in 4, around 2 billion people worldwide do not have access to water. So here it gives you about the statistics. So 74 million people will have the life shortened due to this. When you do not get good water, so scarcity of water will definitely give rise to lots of diseases, and there could be some people who are dying because of it, because of waterborne diseases. And there is also a possibility that many people will have their life spans be shortened. And UN SDG for clean water and sanitation aims to provide everyone in the world with a source of clean water within a 30-minute round trip. And currently, the UN estimates that around 1/3 of sub-Saharan African population rely on water sources that do not meet this standard. So very clearly said, 1/3 of the total population is too high. Okay, so much amount of people are not getting clean water. So this is really a questionable thing. We need to think about how to provide that. Okay, and then not in India, but over here it says third of sub-Saharan African population. Most of the water resources are used or assessed by hand pumps. What is this paragraph? Now let us analyze each one per paragraph. The first paragraph gives you the statistics. The second paragraph tells you the motivation for what UN SDG looks at it and what are the problems associated with it and where it is being found. The third paragraph tells you most of the water resources are assessed by hand pumps. What is the solution for it? What is the hand pump is being one of the solutions. There is clean water up from under the ground, however, 50% of these hand pumps are broken. So therefore, you install a hand pump, maybe after 2-3 months you go there, the hand pump is broken. Okay. A recent study found that charging a small amount of money to use the pump can help train people to maintain pumps. What happens is when a pump is being broken, nobody comes to repair it because there are not much of technicians, and it just stays there as such. And maybe once in a while, the minister of the state or someone who is a supervisor will come and visit it, and and if they have enough funds, they will replace it. Here is that's not right. So whatever UN SDG goals are being kept, not being properly met, lost. Now, what is your role? A lot of stories over here. Let us understand what is the advice, what is the thing that you need to do, what is it you need to write in your exam. That's very important. Just a minute. Diwali crackers are going on. So, yeah, let us. You are tasked with given advice to a charity collecting money to improve access to clean water. Now, what is that you have to do is that you are going to meet someone who is responsible to collect money, and you need to convince him. They're saying that, hey, these are the problems here, I need some money from you. There is so much amount of tax, of dollars or rupees or whatever it is, and then so that okay, I can help this people. To improve access to clean water, the charity wants to provide a handset to the local community, rural sub-Saharans. Okay, the idea is not to give money, but instead to get the money and then purchase local pump sets, and then the charity wants to make sure the hand pump will be remain usable for a long time. And that's one thing which they will always say, okay, see, I'm giving you something, I see to it that you maintain this one for a long time. Now, you need to write a letter to, okay, not a letter, you need to write a report. Okay. When they say letter, you'll be writing to, from, and so on. I don't expect all this here, the exam paper. So discuss and evaluate providing a hand pump to a local village community. In your answer, you should include the following. You need to write something like a report which very clearly mentions that what is the need for doing all this. Now, how do you start? This is the most important. The first thing that we can say is that you start with your core problem. Now, what is the core problem? You can say start by stating something like this: scale of the issue. What is the issue over here? Okay, about let me now go back. Right. So, what is the issue? What is the issue? The issue here is about a quarter of the population of world's population is experiencing 2 billion people don't have what do you call it? Don't have proper drinking water. Say drinking water. The first point I got to, because you know this one 9 marks right, for this. So how much to write, what to write, it's something which you need to learn about it. Not so easy. You cannot just keep on writing anything. 9 marks. But I've seen many students do get good marks over here. Okay, so provided you should know the clear idea. If someone is starting from MYP, DYP, MYP, so on, definitely you have an access to this, you know how to write. Someone comes from CBSE, you know, it's very difficult for them to understand what to write, how to write, and so on. So that's why I'm taking a bit longer time to explain all this. Okay, so 1/4 of the world's population don't have safety. This one here. So this is a core problem. Then the direct consequence. What is the consequence of this? The consequence here, right now, the consequence here is what do you see here? Mortality. Increase in mortality and lower lifespans. Okay. So both these problems are really one needs to address it. It is one thing. And secondly, if you just write like this, I don't think it would be useful. So what you do is you need to put some statistics. Anyway, where do we get the statistics? The answer is already due, right? Where is the answer here? You already have the answer somewhere over here. Answer is somewhere over here. Where is the answer? Answer is it's here. Right? 1.4 billion people die. 74 billion people will have their life shortened. You can write it over here. You can increase. You can say 1.4 billion. Right? Because of this, and instead of writing like this, you can say, and what is that? You can write shortens or lowers lifespans of nearly 74 billion people. Okay. And why does it happen? You mentioned this also. Waterborne diseases, due to waterborne diseases, and poor sanitation. Sanitation. Next. What is it next? We are going to write the consequence we have done. Okay, and then you need to put a clear solution. What is the solution here? Provide water pumps to each village. Provide water pumps to each village, and then and to charge a small fee to access clean water, and to account for the two accounts, right? For training people. Yeah, maybe you don't even write this one because we discuss this at a later stage. So what we do is we will write only so much. Then what's the next step? So we have said about the solution. Let me go back to the question and see what is being asked. The benefits of health that are associated with access to clean drinkable water, ethical advantages and disadvantages. The first part I have written. Okay. Second part is about ethical advantages and disadvantages of creating a pump. What is the ethical advantage? See, usually these questions will be something like, it will create a dilemma when the user writes or the examiner reads. Okay, this is very important to understand. Now, the first thing is that, so why do you want to charge a fee? Whenever you say a dilemma, so you are charging a fee for water. Do you think this is ethically correct? This is ethically incorrect. Clear? During Satyagraha in India, and Gandhiji posed, or maybe he protested something like, one should not put taxes on something. This is what you call as Gandhi March. History. No, see, science and histories are coming together. So why? Because it is a birthright. It's a birthright for every individual to have something. Okay. Today we are paying taxes for everything. The story is totally different. Okay, so what we have got from Britishers is that we have learned how to tax something. When you buy something, you are putting a tax, they are paying a tax. When you sell something, you are paying a tax. But everything in India we pay tax. Okay, now let us come back to this. Now, this is a birthright to have clean water because you are not manufacturing water. Okay. So you should not ask for money, okay, while you get the water from. So therefore, this is not just an ethical issue. Okay. But now, why do I want to sign? Why do you want to actually post something? The reason behind this is because, so charge a fee. There are several reasons. I can only say charging something accounts for maintenance, right? So because why do I want for maintenance? I want to go for maintenance because there's a statistics. See, whatever I reply here, it all comes from what you have told me. That's a problem. It accounts for 50% of existing hand pumps that are broken at any time. This is the real reason, right? Otherwise, why do I want to charge? The first thing. And secondly, if you charge a fee, you need not depend upon someone to come there. So you can say it increases employability, right? It increases employability. And then you can also say something like it accounts, so there is a accountability. Accountability is also increased because when you are charging something, okay, you'll properly use it. You will not see when you get something free, when you get free water, what you will do is you will take that water, you can use it for anything, right? You can just take water, you can play with water, you can use it as a fountain. There are many places where things are like this are happening. But when you say that whatever accessible good water is being charged for some amount, you'll be very much accountable. Hey, I'm paying so much, man. Okay, I cannot waste this water, right? So accountability is very, very important. And then when you pay some money, okay, when money is paid, you account for ownership. When money is paid, you contribute for ownership. Maybe I think these two goes hand in hand. You can mention all this. Okay. Now, so I have put 4 points over here. What about this point here? Charging a fee for water. Ethical issue comes over here. And I can also say, because why I am writing this is because, look at this here. Ethical advantages I have mentioned. Ethical disadvantages also I have. Let us assume that if there is a very poor man or a poor family and they are unable to do it, then what happens? First right to have clean water, poor people cannot afford for it. It's also incorrect. Right? We will not do this one. Okay? So therefore, I have put the disadvantages here, and I have put the advantage. I put both of them. Now let us move on. So I have explained this. Finally, a concluding appraisal. Okay. See, I have given you the problems. I have given you the solution. Now, the thing is that now I am the agency. You are coming to me and you are saying, hey, everything is fine, but what is your opinion? Why should I give money? Should I still give money? You are only saying advantages. You are only saying disadvantages. What should I do? Okay. So towards it, first thing is you should acknowledge the key challenge. What's the key challenge? Providing biggest risk. The key challenge is that you have to provide clean water and at the same time account for the failure of or maintenance issue. Account for the maintenance problem. The first thing that you can say. And secondly, what else can you say? You can say you can create a water committee. So what does it say? What does the water power committee do? It empowers the local community to manage its own resources. The first thing that it does. And secondly, you can also look for flexible fee system. Ensuring no one is left out. Okay. Do not use something like reservation based policies. Okay. And, so what you can do is if someone is very poor, then maybe we can suggest, okay, like based on the income what he derives and so on, we can actually offer him free water for him. We can do this also. Okay, then we can also say improves employment. So if someone is very poor, what you do is you give him the task of reducing the water or collecting money, so on, okay, and educate him to see like how to do it. Then possibly you can get the money also from him, extract money from him based on, instead of paying him the fee, what you do is give him water. Okay, so therefore, all these are taken care, and as a result of it, it will be helpful if you provide water free. You see, we are given over here. So that's this very. So this is what we expect in your criteria. Okay. I do not know how many of you do properly write this criteria D. So there's a lot of thinking that goes on when you are writing criteria. Criteria D is not an easy task. Okay. But when you start thinking like this, definitely you'll be able to write it up. So with this, we come to an end to this particular problem. And see you once again on any other criteria. So far, 4 problems, 4 criteria. I already listed. I keep on checking criteria day to day and see to it that they be able to answer each one of them. So, as I already told you, look at the criteria, understand the criteria, write the criteria, do an answer for it, and then compare with this. Finally, say whether you have done it correctly or not. Okay. So mention your answers, the comments in YouTube. So this will be very helpful. To like, share, comment on it. How this was useful. What is that you expect from me more? Could be positive, could be negative, whatever it is. Definitely be happy to improve on it. So far, because I had been doing on the IP questions. First time I'm doing with MYP, but nevertheless, since I'm teaching MYP currently, so it will be helpful for everyone. Thank you.